Hi everyone, my name is Jillian and you might recognize me from my last video, which was a college reactions video, and if you haven't watched that you should go check it out right there. So, by popular demand, I am back with a stats video. Before I get into this, I just wanted to do a quick disclaimer. Just don't take these stats to heart. I don't know how good they are, but college admissions is just so random that you can never really guess what will get someone into a college versus what won't get into a college, because I mean, some people with like perfect 1600s or like 36s and they're the valedictorian may not get into schools versus something that I got into, which I do not have those scores. So it's just very random and I don't think you should take these to heart, but always work hard and show your passion, and I think that it will all hopefully turn out well in the end. I also wanted to tell you guys that I am starting up a college essay editing business. I'm in no way a certified admission officer or anything, but if you need any help with your essays or anything, feel free to reach out to me and I will put an email right here or in the description, and I will definitely talk about this more at the end of the video, so if you're interested in this, just keep watching. I think we can just get into the video. The first thing that I'm going to talk about is the scores and stats, because that's what everyone wants to know. So on the SAT, I got a 1510, and on the ACT, I got a 35. I just ended up sending both to all of the colleges because I didn't know which one that they preferred / wanted / thought was better, so I just sent both. And then I did take 2 subject tests. I took the Math 2 and I ended up getting a 780. I also took the Physics one, but yeah, so I just only submitted the Math 2 for any schools that I could, and for schools that I had to submit to, I just submitted that one also, but it was like, yeah, it was not good. For my GPA, I got I don't know, one sec. Oh, okay. So my school does a GPA out of 5 for weighted, so like it goes like above 5, so yeah. So I guess it's kind of out of 6, but I don't know. But I got a 5.54, and my unweighted GPA was a 4.0. And then for my rank, I was number 6 out of 385. The next thing that I wanted to talk about was AP tests, and I actually don't even think that these matter much in the admissions process. This is just my take on it though. But I think that they don't really matter. It's just a measure of like, will you get credit once you already go to college? But regardless, it's good to do well on it anyways. My freshman year, we were only allowed to take 1 AP class, and it was AP Human Geography, and I got a 5 on that. My sophomore year, I took 1 AP as well, and that was AP World History, and I got a 4 on that. And then junior year, I took 3 AP classes, and they were Physics 1, AP Lang, and US History. And on US History, I got a 5, on Lang I got a 5, and on Physics 1 I got a 4. So next we can go through my classes that I've taken in the past 4 years. So in my school we have AB days, which are block days, so we take 4 classes on one day and then 4 classes on the other, and we alternate back and forth. So we get to take 8 classes per semester, yeah. For freshman year, I took pre-AP Geometry, pre-AP Biology, pre-AP English 1, AP Human Geography, Chinese 1, pre-AP Art 1, and Athletics, which was volleyball. And there was kind of like a weird thing for English 1 for mine, because we actually had this thing called GT Humanities that merged the freshmen and sophomores that were in English 1 and world history, and then it merged them for one class, and we learned history in like a really weird 2-year increment. It was so strange. It was even worse though because the sophomores learned the first half of history the year before we came, and we were freshmen, so when they were freshmen. And then when they were sophomores and we were freshmen, we had to take the second half of history before we took the first half of history. So we were literally learning history backwards. It was bad. My sophomore year, I took Pre-AP Algebra 2, Pre-AP Chemistry, Pre-AP English 2, AP World History, Chinese 2, Pre-AP Computer Science, Athletics, which was volleyball again, and Pre-AP Art 2. So really loading up on those pre-APs. So that was sophomore year. Not much very interesting about that. Except world history wasn't actually world history, it was humanities. So junior year, I took Pre-AP Pre-Cal, and then I took AP Physics 1, AP Lang, AP US History, AP Seminar, AP Psych, Pre-AP Chinese 3, and then I did choir. This year, I also loaded up on the APs because why not? I also think it's good to show colleges that you are still trying in your senior year, because a lot of people just kind of slack off their senior year and just think that high school's over and stuff, which technically it is, but it's still good to show that you're interested in different classes and you want to like get better. So for my senior year, I took AP Calc BC, AP Physics 2, AP Lit, Independent Study and Mentorship, or ISM, which is a really cool independent study class where you choose your own path during the year, and it's basically all self-run. So I can talk about that more in a different video if you'd like. I also took AP Studio Art 3D Designer, we just call it AP 3D. And then choir and AP Economics and AP Government, which were semester classes that I switched at half semester. Oh, I also forgot to mention that in my independent study class, I am doing data science, which was a very big part of my senior year and what led me to what I want to do, which is industrial engineering and operations research. Just wanted to quickly explain the whole pre-AP AP system at my school. So the way it works is we don't have honors classes, which I know is a big thing I think in California. We just have pre-AP classes, which is a step down from AP, as you can see, like pre-AP, so it's just like a preface to it, I guess. And then we have AP classes. So the way it works for our weighted GPA is that AP classes are weighted on a 6-point scale. So like if you get a 100, you get a 6 added to your GPA. If you get a 95, you get a 5.5. And the same works for pre-AP classes. They're also on a 6-point scale. On-level classes or regular classes like my choir class is just on a 5-point scale. So for my extracurriculars, I think there were 3 main things that really made my application stronger. And the first thing was this thing that I do called Gold Tutoring, and it is a tutoring business that I have grown for the past 3 years. Hiring other people and managing my own business has probably really shown colleges that I can handle multiple activities and just more like real world than maybe just like managing my schoolwork and stuff. The second thing that I think made me stand out was the Asian Culture Club, which I founded in my sophomore year at my school. I'm only half Asian. I think it was more unique that I was connecting with a culture that maybe I wasn't as much of a part of. I don't know if that's how they saw it. That's how I saw it. I wanted to connect with other cultures, connect with my own culture. So I was just really passionate about that club, and I loved to talk about it, and it did sound like great to colleges that I wanted to embrace more diversity in my school, because I do live in Texas, which is not the most diverse place. The third thing that I think also made my application stand out was this past summer I was in the Girls Who Code Summer Immersion Program, which is a program for 7 weeks that you go to an office. I went to JP Morgan Chase, and you basically learn so many different computer science topics throughout the program. You also get to do office visits, and you have a mentor within the company, and it was just an amazing experience. At the end we have a final project, I teamed up with 2 of my friends and we built an app together. I would love to talk about that in another video as well if you guys are interested. I think it's such a great program and everyone who has a chance to do it should really do it. So I think that that also really made my application stand out. But other than that, I can read out some of my other activities that I did. My friend and I co-founded the Girls Coding Club, which was actually still in the process as I was writing my application, so I noted that in the application that we were just starting it out, but like our plans for the future for it. So you can always do that if you are doing something at the moment but you don't feel it's important enough to say that you've been doing it for a long time. Just feel free to put it if you're proud of it, and just note in the little description box that you have that you're just starting it out, building it out, growing. It's definitely something that I think helped me because that connected with Girls Who Code just really solidified that I want to be in tech. The next thing was I was very involved with student council throughout all 4 years there, and I actually went to the Texas Association of Student Councils for my sophomore and junior year, and I did want to go for my senior year, but with everything that's happened, I think that that is definitely canceled now. So the next thing was the Global Benefit Club, and this was basically just a club dedicated to spreading awareness for global issues such as climate change or poverty and stuff like that. But I was also the secretary of the club, so yeah, that was pretty cool. The other thing was NHS, National Honor Society, which I never think that actually matters in your application because literally my entire school is in National Honor Society. Regardless, I was a volunteer, is what I put, and a secretary of the organization. For this one, I put it under the music/vocal category, and I kind of split it between 2 because they fell under the same category, but the first one is choir, which I mentioned before, and I was the historian for it. And the other thing I put just like a slash because I also play the piano and ukulele, so I did want to put that in there because I think it shows a different side of me and I really love music, so I thought that that was important enough to put in my college application. The other thing is volleyball. I was captain on some of my volleyball teams, so I put that down, and I also did volleyball outside of school as well. The last thing that I put down was that I worked at a nail salon nearby, not painting nails, I was just a hostess, and I thought it was good to show that even though I had my own business that I was making money from, I still wanted to go out there and get some experience, interact with other people, and make some extra money on the side. So I did that throughout my sophomore and junior year as I was growing Gold tutoring. I also just wanted to say that I am reading from my common application instead of my UC one because the UC has 20 spots and I filled out all 20 spots, and I don't think that people would want to hear that many things because they all probably weren't that significant. So the last thing that I think is a big part of your application is the essays, and since this like stats video is for a lot of different schools, I don't really know which essays to talk about, but I can give like a quick recap of like what I generally talked about because it kind of kept consistent for most schools. The first thing that was a big part, which I mentioned before, was Girls Who Code. I think that was probably the most impactful experience that I had in high school based on what I want to do with my career in the future, where I applied for college, all that good stuff. I did write about that for a couple essays. I probably should have written about it for more of my essays because I didn't even write about it for my Common App, but I definitely should have, but whatever, wouldn't change a thing. Yeah, for my Common App I actually wrote about positivity and just how that's brought me throughout my life, because I would consider myself a pretty positive person. And basically what I did with that is I transitioned my positivity into political activism and how that has impacted my life so far and how I want to continue doing that for the rest of my life. The other things that I wrote about was Asian Culture Club, and how I formed that, and just like how it's grown over the years, and the same thing with gold tutoring. Any other essay that I wrote might have been a more creative one for the UC schools. My last one, since I couldn't use the Common App, my last one was about political activism. And then a couple of schools had like, oh, like why do you want to do industrial engineering or something like that. And I either talked about my Girls Who Code experience or my independent study in data science, or yeah, that's probably what I talked about. I think that's it. So I think that brings me to the end of my application, and like I said at the beginning of this video, just try not to take any of this to heart. I don't know how good this all measures on your like scales of excellence for college applications, but hopefully it provided a little bit of insight. But like I said before, just take it with a grain of salt because you never know what might happen in the future. So I did want to take a minute to talk about the college essay editing business that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. Despite the fact that I really did not like my admissions process because it was just all very stressful throughout the way, I think what really got me through it was definitely like my friends and family. I never thought that sharing my essays with my friends was a thing that people did, but my friend actually asked me to edit her essay, and I really enjoyed editing her essay, not because I wanted to change anything about it, but I thought it was really great that I could see her essay through the lens that like it isn't my own writing, it isn't her own eyes seeing her own writing, and I think it's just great to get another set of eyes on your essays. So after I edited her essay, she just like thought that it was really helpful to have someone else look at it. So I started editing a lot of my different friends' essays, and they all said that it was just super helpful, so I thought that it was good to offer it to other people too. I definitely also asked my parents and a couple of my friends to just take a quick look over my essay and see if they see anything that might want to be improved, because it did really help out in the end, or at least I think it might have helped out in the end. So if you're interested in that, definitely email this email right here, and I will also put it in the description. But if you want more information, I would love to help you out and just get started with anything that you need. So I did want to announce really quick that I did commit to Berkeley a couple of days ago, and I'm so excited about that. So if you want to hear a video or anything about why I ended up choosing Berkeley over my other schools, definitely leave a comment and I can make a video about that if you'd like. And with that, I think that is the end of this video. Comment if you want any other videos. I love giving advice. I can definitely do like walkthroughs of applications, advice on high school, advice on applying to college, maybe Common App ideas that you might want to do. Yeah, I think that is about it. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in another video. All right, bye.